Google Cloud just moved from our model to your choice for builders, and that decision alone could unlock an entirely new class of products. We're also talking about how XAI is tackling the top enterprise blocker for sensitive code with zero data retention, and why the private equity world is now standardizing on AI. Expect a strong pull for practical tools, not just the hype. No BS AI briefing, brought to you by Proactive AI. Welcome back. I'm your host, Vikash Sharma, and this is where builders get straightforward AI news without the fluff. Alright, let's dive into some high signal items this week. We've got a couple of big cloud plays, some crucial privacy features, and a look at how AI is becoming table stakes even in private equity. First up, XAI has added zero data retention to its Grok Build CLI. Now, this is a pretty big deal. Teams can opt in so that absolutely no code or trace data is stored on XAI's servers. They've even given you a new cache privacy command to explicitly disable retention and delete any previously synced data. What happened here in plain English is that XAI is giving builders a practical knob to turn for compliance and IP protection. It shifts the conversation from just trust us to verifiable control over your sensitive information. For builders, the interesting part here is that this directly addresses one of the biggest blockers for enterprise adoption of AI tools, especially for code generation or sensitive data processing. If you're building an internal AI tool for a regulated industry or even just working with proprietary code, having this kind of explicit control over data retention becomes a serious differentiator. It enables stricter deployments that simply weren't possible before, and your privacy posture can now become a competitive advantage. Next, Google Cloud has launched the Anthropic Vertex SDK for Claude. This means enterprises can now run Anthropic's Claude models, including Claude Opus, directly via Google's agent platform. What's in it for you? Well, you get all the managed infrastructure, global endpoints, and crucial IAM and VPC controls that come with Google Cloud. It's a pretty smart move by Google because it streamlines multi-model development within existing GCP workflows. So, in simple terms, Google is making it super easy to use Claude if you're already in the Google Cloud ecosystem, integrating it tightly with their security and operational tools. Why this matters for builders is huge. It significantly reduces operational friction. You can unify your security policies, your billing, and your development workflows, even if you're using models from different vendors. This is a clear advancement in a model agnostic cloud strategy, giving you more choice without adding more management headaches. It's all about making it easier to experiment and deploy the best model for the job, regardless of who built it. Also, we're seeing a clear signal from the investment world. Clearlake, a major private equity firm, has partnered with Databricks and West Monroe to launch Clearlake AI Labs. The goal here is to integrate AI and data analytics across all their investments and portfolio operations. In essence, they're saying AI isn't just a nice to have anymore, it's becoming table stakes in private equity workflows. What happened is that a big financial player is committing serious resources to modernize their data infrastructure and deploy AI solutions across their entire portfolio of companies. For builders, this is a clear downstream signal. It indicates a growing structural demand for practical AI tooling and solutions within large organizations. Not just the flashy front end stuff, but deep integration into business operations. This creates significant partnership opportunities for vendors who can deliver solid, real world AI applications that move the needle for a diverse set of companies. It's a validation that AI has crossed the chasm into core business processes. Finally, we have a story that comes with a bit of a hype warning. GMX Robotics has signed a letter of intent to acquire a social intelligence AI platform. The non-binding letter aims to integrate social world models into healthcare and elder care robotics. Now, the target company and the technical specifics are largely undisclosed, and it's important to remember that an LOI isn't a done deal. It may not close. So what happened is a robotics companies expressing interest in buying a platform focused on social and behavioral modeling. For builders, it underscores the continued and frankly growing interest in human aware human robot interaction, particularly in sensitive areas like healthcare. But let's be real, details are incredibly limited right now. We don't know the actual capabilities, the technology stack, or even if the deal will ever finalize. It's something to keep an eye on, but definitely don't get swept up in the marketing spin just yet. It's an intent, not a proven product. Now, out of these stories, the one I think is most important for builders right now, the one that really changes the game for how we approach building AI products, is Google Cloud's Anthropic Vertex SDK for Claude. This isn't just another model announcement, it's a statement about cloud strategy and model choice. What happened is Google Cloud has essentially formalized model choice for its enterprise customers. They've made it possible to easily use Anthropic's Claude models directly within Google's own agent platform. That means all the robust enterprise controls, managed infrastructure, and global access you'd expect from GCP are now available for Claude alongside Google's native models. It's an integration play that simplifies a lot of backend complexity. Why this matters right now is all about flexibility and reducing vendor lock-in friction. Historically, using a specific model often meant committing to that model's cloud ecosystem, or at least dealing with significant integration overhead. Google is saying, hey, we're a platform for all the best models. This accelerates a major trend we've been seeing in the infrastructure layer, the shift towards cloud providers acting as model marketplaces, not just providers of their own proprietary models. This makes it easier for builders to iterate, to switch models if performance or cost dictates, and to build more resilient applications that aren't tied to a single AI vendor. It opens up avenues for true multi-model strategies without adding massive operational burdens. So, who should really care about this? Well, founders should care because it means more leverage. You're less dependent on one model's roadmap or pricing structure, giving you more agility to innovate and adapt. Product managers now have a broader, more easily integrated tool set. You can evaluate Claude alongside Gemini or other models for specific tasks without significant engineering lift just to get it running securely. For infra engineers and engineering leaders, this means unified security, IAM, and VPC controls for multiple top tier models, simplifying your operational footprint. No more managing separate accounts, security policies, and billing for each model provider. And for indie hackers or small teams, it means easier access to powerful enterprise grade models within a familiar cloud environment, lowering the barrier to experimentation and deployment. How would I think about this as a builder? I'd see this as a green light to design for model agnosticism from the start. Think about building a thin abstraction layer over your LLM calls. The opportunity here is to create truly hybrid AI systems where you might send reasoning tasks to Claude, but image generation to another model and code generation to yet another, all within the same unified GCP environment. This lets you pick the absolute best tool for each specific job rather than compromising because of integration complexity. The risk, of course, is that with more choice comes more complexity if you don't manage it well. You still need to understand the nuances of each model and build robust routing logic. Don't assume every model is interchangeable. What to ignore? I'd largely ignore the specific hype around Claude itself for this announcement. The real story isn't just about Claude, it's about Google enabling seamless access to any leading model within its platform. It's a strategic move, not just a feature release. My Nobius take here is that the real value isn't just having Claude on GCP, it's the operational simplicity and the power of choice that comes with it. This is a clear signal that cloud providers are racing to be the platform for AI, not just an AI provider. And that's a win for builders who want flexibility and control. If you want one practical takeaway from today's episode, here it is. Ask your team, how would our product change if a top tier model like Claude running on our existing GCP setup with all our IAM, VPC, and billing controls became free and reliable? Here's how to try it in under 60 minutes. First, block out 45 minutes for a product or engineering huddle. Get your key people, PMs, tech leads, even a couple of senior engineers in a room. Second, frame the question precisely. Imagine Claude Opus fully integrated into GCP with our current security and billing. What new use cases or product features become viable that weren't before? What existing problems could we solve much more efficiently? Don't worry about actual cost or latency for this brainstorm. Just focus on the capability now being within easy reach. Third, dedicate 20 minutes to listing newly viable use cases. Think about areas where model performance was a bottleneck or where security compliance concerns around external APIs held you back. Would you use it for more sophisticated internal tooling? Would you enhance a customer facing feature that requires advanced reasoning, perhaps a dynamic content generation module? List everything. Finally, spend the last 10 minutes prioritizing one or two of those ideas that seem most impactful or easiest to prototype. This specific experiment is worth your time right now because it pushes your team beyond thinking, what can our current AI do, to what could any of the best AIs do if they were seamlessly integrated into our existing stack. It unlocks creative thinking by removing the common operational and integration roadblocks from the mental model, giving you a tangible list of new product directions or improvements. It's about designing for the future of multi-model cloud today. That's it for today's No BS AI briefing. If this helped, follow the show in your podcast app and share it with one builder you know. And if you've got questions or topics you want covered, connect with me on LinkedIn and send them over. See you in the next briefing.